The old lady gang, they are, and I don't really feel like I don't know if you discuss things like this. I don't know how. We're having a really hard time because my Aunt Bertha has Alzheimer's. So, trying to manage that.
During a recent Amazon Live, Kandi opened up about something deeply personal that she's been holding close for a while now. And to be real with y'all, it caught me off guard. You can tell she didn't really want to get into it, but her emotions kind of slipped through. She was talking about the old lady gang, Mama Joyce, Aunt Nora, and then her voice kind of dropped when she mentioned Aunt Bertha. That's when she revealed that Aunt Bertha has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
We're having a really hard time because my Aunt Bertha has Alzheimer's. So, trying to manage that. If anybody's ever dealt with somebody in your family going through that and it gets worse, and then everybody is like, it's not easy. You know what I mean? So it's it's a time.
Now listen, if you've ever had someone close to you go through that, then you already know how heavy that is. And the way Kandi said it, you could hear the weight in her voice. She was trying to keep it together, trying not to get too emotional, but it was clear. This has been really hard on her and the whole family. And perhaps the hottest thing of all, no rest for the widowed, Kandi. So she even said, I don't mean to get all emotional with y'all, but you could hear it. Her voice got soft, her eyes dropped a bit, and you could tell this wasn't something she wanted to talk about publicly, but at the same time, it's something she needed to say. She wasn't looking for sympathy, she was just being real. And y'all, when someone like Kandi, who's usually so put together and full of energy, lets you see even a little bit of their pain like that, it hits hard. You could feel the love she has for Aunt Bertha in every word. The way she mentioned her so gently, so carefully, like she was trying to protect her, even while speaking the truth. And if you've ever had to care for or watch a loved one struggle with Alzheimer's, then you already know how deep that pain runs. The confusion, the memory loss, the day-to-day changes, it wears on a family. And the way Kandi delivered that moment, even through the screen, it was clear. This isn't just difficult, it's heartbreaking. And y'all, if you've ever watched the old lady gang in action, then you know this isn't just some news. This hit is different.
He told me that. I said, oh hell, I paid double for that.
But at the end of the day, he never got no picture. He was telling you a story, Mama.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush. When he told
Aunt Bertha isn't just a background character in Kandi's life, she's a whole personality. She's been 1/3 of the iconic old lady gang since day one, alongside Mama Joyce and Aunt Nora. From the very first time she appeared on Real Housewives of Atlanta, fans connected with her. She's sharp, unfiltered, hilarious, and loyal. Aunt Bertha tells it like it is, and that's exactly why we love her. She's had so many iconic moments, but let's be honest, one of the most unforgettable scenes ever was when she gave us that viral line. It could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bull. And the way she spun around in that chair, looking so serious while dropping that shade, classic Aunt Bertha. That scene became a meme. Fans still quote it years later because that's the kind of energy Aunt Bertha brought every time she was on camera. Aunt Bertha was always the heart of any old lady gang I knew. She left an impression. She's the type of auntie who'll fix you a plate, then cuss you out if you get slick. The kind who'll show up in a matching church hat and still be the funniest person at the table. Aunt Bertha was always the heartbeat of any old lady gang scene. And now hearing that she's not doing well, it just makes those memories even more special. It makes you want to go back and rewatch those scenes, not just for the laughs, but to really appreciate who she is and the role she's played in Kandi's life. And honestly, in ours too. Because for so many fans, Aunt Bertha didn't just feel like a TV personality, she felt like our auntie too. The one who said what we were all thinking, the one who kept everybody and seeing Kandi have to deal with with something like this, it's a reminder that even the people we admire, the ones who seem so strong all the time, they're carrying real pain behind the scenes.
What? You over here saying to her?
Yes, I agree. Put on. So you want to tell me?
Oh, I'm for real, Aunt Bertha. When you gonna show me?
You have to give you some tips. We gonna pop on the telephone. Okay.
I need the dresses.
All right, let's get real for a minute and talk about what this all means behind the scenes for Kandi. Because if you've been watching her all these years, you might have thought she's had it all together. Always smiling, always on point. But what we didn't see, what a lot of fans are just realizing now, is that Kandi's been carrying a heavy burden quietly for a long time. That Amazon Live moment gave us a rare glimpse into her silent struggle, the pain that she's been managing without really showing it to the world. Think about it. To keep up that energy on camera, to run your empire, handle your family, and still put on a brave face takes a kind of strength most of us can't even imagine. And Alzheimer's? That's not just a diagnosis. It's a slow, painful journey watching someone you love start to slip away bit by bit. For Kandi, it's Aunt Bertha facing that battle. You don't just get over that. You don't just move on. It changes everything. The private moments, the phone calls, the family gatherings, they're probably all touched by this new reality. And Kandi, who's always been so full of life and light, has been navigating this storm mostly in silence. And if you've ever watched someone you love slip away because of Alzheimer's, then you already know how deep this runs. It's heartbreak that doesn't always have a place to be expressed in public, but it's there in the eyes, the pauses, the moments when the smile fades just a little. That's the kind of pain Kandi's been living with, and now that we know, it makes us see her in a whole new light, not just as a star or a boss lady, but as a woman fighting for her family's strength. Now, the reaction from fans has been powerful. As soon as word got out, social media lit up with people sharing their feelings. One fan wrote, "Aunt Bertha is a whole movement. She's the auntie we all wish we had. This news hurts more than I can say." Another one said, "Kandi has been so strong for so long. We didn't realize what she's been dealing with behind the scenes, sending all the prayers." And it's not just fans. The Real Housewives of Atlanta cast members have been showing love too. Marlo Hampton, who's close with Kandi and the Old Lady Gang, was one of the first to check in and send her support, reminding everyone how important Aunt Bertha is not only to Kandi, but to the entire Real Housewives of Atlanta family. That kind of public support means a lot because it shows this isn't just about entertainment, it's about real people, real families, real pain. It's in moments like this that the internet really becomes a family. When fans, friends, and even celebrities come together to uplift someone going through a hard time, it creates a community that's bigger than just a TV show. It's a reminder that behind every public figure, there's a real life with struggles and joys just like ours. And for Kandi, for Aunt Bertha, and for the whole Old Lady Gang, that love and support means everything. It's what helps them keep going, keep fighting, and keep showing up even when things get tough. So as we keep watching and supporting Kandi, let's hold her and her family in our hearts. Because right now, that's what they need the most.
What's that face you making, Aunt Bertha? Mama, don't even I've seen the lady. The woman talk too much. Blah, 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 blah. If Sherry sit next to me at the dinner, I am getting up and leaving.
Now, before we get too deep in our feelings, let's take a minute to celebrate the queen herself, Miss Aunt Bertha. Because listen, even through all this heartbreak, we can't forget just how much joy and energy this woman has brought into our lives over the years. I mean, let's keep it real. Aunt Bertha been a star. From the first moment we saw her on Real Housewives of Atlanta, we knew she wasn't one to play with. That classic side eye, the way she'd sit in that chair with her arms crossed, reading people without even opening her mouth. Iconic. And then there were the quotes. Whew, that sounds like a scheme that Todd set up to come to us with the bullshit. That line right there, a cultural reset. We all felt that. The delivery, the timing, the shade. Everything about it was legendary. That wasn't just a TV moment, that was history. And it wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. That dry humor, that unbothered attitude, that fearless honesty. Aunt Bertha didn't sugarcoat anything. She'd tell you exactly how she felt and dare you to say something back. That's why fans connected with her so deeply, because she was real, unfiltered, and full of love. Even when she was handing out that classic Bertha brand shade. Who else remembers when she spun around in the chair at the OLG restaurant and gave that look like, who are these people and why are they talking to me? Or the way she'd check Kandi with a simple glance when she got out of line? It was like watching your own auntie or grandma. Someone who's gonna keep it 100 whether you want to hear it or not. And even now I can hear her voice in my head saying something slick with a smirk on her face. Like, I just know Aunt Bertha would be like, now what y'all crying for? I'm still here and I ain't done yet. That's her spirit, strong, sassy, and full of fight. So, here's what I want y'all to do. Drop your favorite Aunt Bertha memory or line in the comments. Whether it's a funny moment, a shady quote, or just something that made you smile, let's light up the comments with love and laughs in her honor. Because even in sadness, Aunt Bertha would not want us to sit here crying too long. She'd want us to laugh. She'd want us to remember the good times, the fun moments, the shade sessions, and the love she gave. That's her legacy, and it deserves to be celebrated. Before we wrap this up, let's send nothing but love and strength to Kandi, Mama Joyce, Nora, and the whole old lady gang. What they're going through right now isn't easy, it's heavy, and they need to know that they're not alone. So please, drop a comment for Aunt Bertha, leave a prayer for Kandi and her family, let them feel this community wrapping around them like a warm hug, because this isn't just about a reality TV moment. This is about real people, real love, and real loss. It's about a woman who's touched so many lives just by being herself.